There's got to be so many superstitions and things like that people, doing their own thing, and maybe it actually means nothing. Like you said, a guy with a yardstick, and he's like, what does that do? That does absolutely nothing.
I mean, just for example, I've been taught it by my dad and everything, but I have a thing, I call it the pen test. I walk around with my pen and I make notes down, but then I'll go up to the horse and I'll go kind of behind its front leg and I'll jab it with the pen. Just kind of a little touch. And if if the horse flips out and wants to kick my brains out, I say, no, thank you.
I'll tell you, my grandfather, it was the fist test, okay? And what he would do is he would take his fist and he put it underneath the chin.
Oh, absolutely.
Underneath the chin.
It's gotta have a wide throat.
Gotta have a wide throat. And if you could put your fist underneath, in between their two jawbones, then he's got a wide, and boom, that horse is gonna be. It doesn't matter the rest of them. That was the check mark, the final check mark on all my grandfather's horses when we go to the sale. That was it.
No, that's one of the first things I do. I'm just like him. I gotta have. If I can only put 3 fingers underneath there, I gotta really love everything else.
Yeah. I mean, 2 fingers. That's.
I probably could have turned down some $1 million winner because of that, but oh well. That's the nature of the beast.
Normally, and what I learned, my grandfather would just go in there and he would just try to put, I like to start with 1 finger, and 1 finger, and then you ease into 2. And then you start with 3, and then you can get the whole fist.
Oh, so you foreplay him right up, don't you, Ryan?
Yeah, exactly. So that was my own little thing that I took from my grandfather, and I just felt like we had to go a little slow. We're around yearlings. I didn't want to scare them. That's why I did it. One of the things that always, man, gave me just nerves is I'd watch people walking around these yearlings. And I know they've been handled and things like that. And I know a lot of the farms now are getting a lot better with their yearling. Wait, hold on. Put it on the pole, Kate. Put it on the pole. Do you start with 1 finger or do you go straight to the fist? That's a good poll. That's a good poll. It's a good poll. Okay? So, going back to my... where was I? I think I got lost there. What were we talking about? Where's our producer? Where's our...
Oh, people around the yearlings, even though they're well-mannered now.
It drives me nuts when I see these yearlings and they're being handled, and it's great. It absolutely is great that they're being handled this way, but they're walking around the horses and around the back, and they're picking up their legs.
No fear.
No fear. It's like you're going to get blasted in your face, or something's going to happen to this horse, or to you. It's going to freak out. And people are just going right up to them man, it just always... I'm always nervous about that.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing how many people are willing to walk within 1 to 2 feet behind a yearling. And I'm like,
no.
All it takes is 1 other yearling to jump up in the air, and that thing's bolting. And it's going to bolt you in the ribs.
How many horses did you get this year? Yearlings did you guys get?
We have 7.
Okay. Are you...
Yeah. I bought 1 for myself, and 7 in total in the stable. I got bro. Bro knows.
Bro.
Yeah. My mom was like, "Are you going to change the name?" And I went, "Absolutely not."
Put it on the poll. Just bro, ... yes or no. That's it. How would you say that, now leading up to buying bro, did you know you were going to buy bro, or did you... would you say that came out of the clouds? Did you look at bro? Let's start with that.
Yeah, I had looked at bro probably 3 times before he walked in the ring. Now, I had already been underbidder 6 times before him.
Okay.
So I was starting, I'm like, man, I am not going to get 1 horse at the sale if I'm going to keep being underbidder, because there's horses, they were just bringing right outside what I wanted to pay for a horse. And bro came in, he's a big boy. Bro's big.
A big boy.
And I was like, well, I'll go, he brought 22, and I said, I'll go to 25 on him. He wasn't my top pick, but, I think he was kind of a sleeper just because he was so big, and he was out of a family that made money, but they weren't, royally bred or anything. I was like, okay. And he brought. I went to 22, and I thought I had him for 17, and somebody bid when the hammer was about to fall, and I was not happy
Okay.
by any means. But then, the next thing I knew, I was like, oh, he's at 22. And then he looked around, and I saw the one guy who bid me up the last time like walk away, and I went, all right, we're in business now. Bro's coming home.
So were you?
Bro is coming home.
You buy the horse. Are you more nervous before the sale, or three options? Are you more nervous before, like the weeks leading up to the sale, the day of the sale before you actually buy the horse, or the 10 seconds right after the horse? What's the most nerve-wracking part?
Once your hand goes up, once you're actually in the action bidding on the horse, and you're gonna have to sign that paper if you're the last guy. Like that's when your heart starts palpitating. You're kind of in the heat of the moment. Regardless of how much money it is, you're still just kind of like, man, this horse could be mine. He could be the next Little Brown Jug winner, or he could be the next horse that's gonna make my bank account drain to the bottom. Yeah, but we're gonna find out.
He could be the next horse pulling a nice buggy in Lancaster.
Yeah, so it's just that's I love yearlings. I love the sales. It's just it's $1 in a dream. It's a mystery. It's really one of the coolest things about our business. Is just there's the Mr. Bigs of the world that Mr. Muscle Man that brings nothing, and he ends up being a champion. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna be that guy that picks out that horse.
Well, and that's why we felt that it was important to discuss this episode, because we want those emotions to be conveyed out there for the world to see, because there is I think that it is more, yes, if you win a big race, that is the height of your sport. You work to that, but you will never get more emotional and more invested into the sport as the second, like you said, when the hammer drops, when your hand goes up, the hammer drops, and you have to sign that check, and all of a sudden, all you have are hopes and dreams. That's all you have left. And you have to take that and mold it into whatever you're going to make it into.
And it's really an uncharted territory. Nobody does kind of, video reactions in these sales. We get a few interviews afterwards, like the next day and stuff, but it doesn't capture what is truly going on. Pen and paper will not cover just the actual emotions and the camaraderie that's around the sales. It's one of a kind. I think only this broadcast would do it a little bit of justice and get people to actually be involved. And maybe people that are watching will start they'll write down their favorite horses and track them for the rest of their careers, because they got kind of interested in the story behind them. It was an
initial connection to a horse and to a trainer, to an owner, to a driver, whatever connected you with it. Could be a caretaker, could be whatever it is. It's the most natural connection, the most organic connection. And like you said, maybe you can take note of that horse, and you'll be, certain stables. They're doing lots of video presentations now and keeping you updated on the horses, so you can get updated. Even if you're just a fan, you don't have to be involved with the horse. So that's a way for people to get involved, and that's kind of how I think it should be conveyed.
Absolutely.
So that's why I felt this was important for us to discuss. And you have any last things you want to get out there before we send this one out into the river?
No, you nailed it. It's to get people interested and invested in the sport. It's all about connections, whether it's a big connection or a small connection. Whether you just like watching the horse on the track, or you actually are putting dollars into investing in this horse. Unless you're connected to it, you have no incentive to actually go there and watch.
Put it on the poll, Kate. What is more emotional? The second after you purchase a yearling, or the second after you win a major stakes race? Ooh. Whew. There we go. What do you say?
I'd say after the race, because it's all that work you've put in leading up to it that all of a sudden hits you when you actually win the race. Especially with a 2-year-old.
Fair enough. So you think it's more important because the 2-year-old, not a 3-year-old? A 3-year-old that you race in?
Yeah, I mean, since you've had all that, it's just any horse that you've put in a long, long time building up to that moment, and it finally pays off, there's nothing that compares to that.
Okay, fair enough. So is there any last things we want to get out of here before we do our shameless self promotion to take it home?
I think I've shut up on the topic now.
All right. So we have a couple new things that we want to get out of the way. Everything for me is at TrotCast.com. You can go there for all the content that I do. I've dabbled in to a little bit of motocross over the summer, a little bit of auto racing too. We want to because racing is racing, Jay.
That's
Doesn't
right.
matter. Racing is racing. These guys that I've met, they enjoy what I've exposed to them in harness racing, and I hope that some of the people in harness racing have enjoyed watching some of my motocross stuff. Racing's racing, so everything is on TrotCast.com. You can add me on Facebook, Ryan Macedonio, TrotCast, Facebook.com/TrotCast. On Instagram, on Twitter, the polls. Are you hosting the polls or am I hosting the polls, Jay?
You're the technology man. I'm just a mouthpiece.
All right, so I guess I'm. So all of the polls will be on TrotCast.com at TrotCast on Twitter. I have Instagram at TrotCast. I think that's it as far as my shameless self promotion. What would you like to do for? Oh, you can go to the Harness Racing Museum gift shop. Well, you can go to TrotCast.com/shop to get this T-shirt, and you can bug Marcus Melander for a hat if you message him on Facebook at Melander Stable. How about that for shameless self-promotion? Send us hats. Send us T-shirts. You get a special spot on the show. And send Jay. He's a little smaller, so you got to send extra small.
I need
Extra
a
small, Jay?
schmedium.
No, I'm the schmedium. We got to show off my pecs. You know, I'm working out here. So, no more shameless self-promotion for me. I'm out. Take us home, Jay.
All right, I am Jay Hochsteller. You can find me at JD Harness on Twitter. Thank you for joining us, and join the revolution.